and for the first time ever, welcome to the Party Dungeon. This is Dungeon Party. I'm your DM, Blake Peoples, and here is your cast. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
Hi, I'm Emily.
I'm Peter.
I'm Elena.
I'm Griffin.
Cool, and that is our cast. So before we get started today, we have some thank yous to dole out for making this all possible. First off, I want to thank our Kickstarter backers, all 59 of them, I believe.
Woo!
Thank you so much. That was, oh my god. You guys are incredible, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you. I also want to thank Tommy Walters for being the brains behind the operation. Thank you so much, Tommy. I want to thank Evan, who's sitting literally in my closet right now. He's running our tech, running our sound and stuff. And I want to thank Max Kassler running to Guitar Center today for us, even though he has nothing to do with the project. Awesome. So, welcome to Dungeon Party. We're going to be playing 5e campaign, and unless anybody else has anything to say, I think we should jump right into it.
Let's do this.
All right, cool. I will say, though, this is our first episode. We got all the equipment yesterday, so we're definitely still a little bit rough. There's going to be some elements we're going to add in next time, like music and maps, and we got a lot planned, but for this time, we're getting started at long last. Cool. So let us dive into the beginning of our campaign of Dungeon Party. Cool. Our tale begins, as many great tales do, in a tavern. It's a nice tavern, semi-upscale, but dark, filled with nice music, warm voices, and cold ale. The tavern itself is called the Shimmering Scale. It is a 2-story tavern with an inn attached above it. And it's evening. There's revelry happening. Over in one corner you see a gnome with a harp plucking it, playing some nice music while some drunk people sing along. At the bar you see another gnome, a wizened, angry-looking female gnome handing out drinks to people. Notably, the blue water genasi, dressed in strange piratical gear, I might say, sitting at the bar right next to an elven monk with a quarterstaff strapped across his back. They seem to know each other. The tone is jovial. It's just a nice evening, some like 7 or 8 p.m. Over in the corner, there's a group of people playing cards. 3 dwarves, 1 halfling, and a human, slightly disheveled, but with noble features, wearing a black overcoat. The halfling seems to be having quite the time of it. He has dark long hair and a big smile across his face. And the dwarves aren't doing so well, but the human seems somewhat bemused. People stumble in, stumble out. Noticeably, one female half-elf comes in looking rather bedraggled and goes straight to the bar. And that is where we begin. Is there anything anybody wants to do just here in the bar?
So I was telling her that if she wants to get in on the business deal, she has to invest. Now that's something that people don't like to hear. You might be a little cut to somebody else.
Good. Welcome to the Shimmering Scale. How can I help you? The female gnome comes up to you looking like she doesn't have the time for you, but she'll serve you. You're a customer.
The strongest thing you have, please.
All right. That'll be the Stormbringer Sprue. 2 copper. And she goes and rummages behind her, pulling out a big old stein, filling it to the brim, and handing it to you. Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
Over in the card-playing table, things are starting to get a little heated. This halfling is clearly playing these dwarves under the table, and as the dwarves get drunker and drunker, they are not having a good time of it. It eventually gets to the point where one of the dwarves stands up and says, "Oi, you skinny lot, you're cheating, you must be."
Okay, let's not do this here, boys, shall we? Come on, let's just be civil.
The halfling says, "Oh, I'm not cheating. If I'm cheating, he's cheating, and you're cheating as well. I'm just very good at cards."
No, you are cheating, that's not the problem. Let's just be civil here, it's okay.
Listen, I'm not cheating. The only thing criminal about me is my last name, and I didn't make it. Tooth Snatcher. Brandon Tooth Snatcher, nice to meet you.
Oliver, nice to meet you.
I've never cheated once in my life.
Wow, that's incredible. I cheat all the time.
One of the dwarves says, What?
Not
you
right
cheat
now.
all the time?
Not right now, sorry.
He stands up and he says, "All right, well, I've had about enough of losing with these cards. I think I could beat you." And he starts cracking his knuckles with my fists instead. And the halfling goes like, "Oh no, that won't be necessary. not much of the martial type myself, so if you'll just run along, and he sort of ducks behind you.
Look, do we really have to do this here?
Oh, where else are we gonna do it?
Why don't we step outside?
And he throws a punch right at you.
Alright.
Cool. He rolls a 9 to hit.
That does not hit.
So he drunkenly swings past you. And as this happens, the halfling goes, "Oh! Fight! Bar fight!
No.
I'm gonna run over and go, Marcus, I've been looking for you all night. I'm sorry. Where have you been? I'm gonna start bleeding him
Make
away.
a persuasion check. And deception, sorry.
Oh dear.
No, I double proficiency. 18.
You know this lot? These cheaters right here?
Yes, this.
I know that one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Brandon says, "Oh yes, mother."
Yes, she is our adopted mother.
All right,
She is.
come on, boys. Come on, time for bed. Come on. I'm so sorry if they caused you any trouble. Here, drinks are on me. I've thrown the rest of my copper.
Good.
Absolutely, just.
Right.
I'm so sorry for any trouble my sons might have caused. Come on, boys.
Thank you.
Yes, Mom.
They sort of sit down confused and aren't really sure what to make of it. And the halfling comes up and says, "Thank you. Oh,
Yes,
you
thank
really
you.
saved. You really saved us there. Brandon Tooth Snatcher at your service.
Millie,
Nice to
nice
meet you.
to
Neither of you have last names. That's a little strange."
That's none of your concern, is
That's
it?
fair. That's fair. Strangers don't have to disclose everything.
That's how I figured. Listen, that free drink thing, does that extend to the two of us?
I saved you from a bar fight, and you want more?
You're right. Apologies. Oliver, by the way.
Millie,
Pleasure.
nice to meet you.
Have we seen all
You saw what happened, and
Okay.
they've broken away to a separate part of the bar, so you definitely saw what happened there.
Okay.
How about that? Anyway, I got 2 hands up his
At this moment, the door swings open, and you see someone walk in. As they walk in, the rest of the crowd sort of reacts and like a little bit of like a jolt, and then looks down at their table. It is a Lion Knight, one of the guards of Caerleone, who walks in her bronze shiny armor with very shiny, well-polished armor with red trim around it. She is flanked by another Lion Knight, though this is heavier in stature. You can tell by the sort of pauldrons. The first one is a female human with short cropped hair-ish and fair skin and a smile on her face. The figure following her is a female tabaxi who looks like a lion. They both walk in. Sort of
It's
survey
her
the scene.
again.
Oh dear. Can you go sit over there?
Yeah, corner,
Right,
corner,
corner,
back,
please.
You have
corner.
things to hide, but he comes with you.
Everyone else comes ahead.
Sheena turns to you, Kira, and says, "Well, it seems your duties for the night are over. This is as good a place as any. You have friends here, yes?"
Yeah, I've got so many friends, like, everywhere. It's totally fine if you leave me. It's all right. You can have as much fun as you want. Thanks for hanging out.
Yes. Well, I will see you. Report bright and early tomorrow to the barracks, and please bring your incident report. You know how I do love
Always
reading
do.
them. Yes. And she bows her head, looks around, sort of salutes to the gnome at the counter, who like tries not to return a rude gesture, and the tabaxi line knight exits. You do see 2 people you recognize.
I walk over to them and just sit down at the empty seat at the table. Did you guys keep this open for me? That's such a funny coincidence. I haven't seen you in, like, how long has it been? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Lovely.
Are you still here? That's so cool. What have you guys done?
Yeah. Oh,
Are you having fun in the city? Do you really like it?
Just hanging around, seeing the sights, looking for work.
Well, what sights have you seen, though?
Well,
I'm gonna be honest. Bars.
and a lot of vagina. Vagina. The sights I've seen. Yeah.
We are famous for our brothels, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
How about you? What have you up to?
Well, you
How's
know,
work?
it hasn't been as exciting since we did the other day, and I mean, I've just been, walking around pretty much.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's
we have a
actually
lot
my
in
whole
common.
job. I
Love
just
it.
walk around.
Walking around. Yeah. Anyway,
You missed what looked like was gonna be a good bar fight. I got excited for a minute.
that lady that broke it up, I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
Hasn't been a good one here for about
No,
a
been,
couple of
2 weeks.
hour. Yeah.
yeah,
Long time. Anyway.
boring. Starting to get twitchy.
As your conversation dwindles, you hear a voice from outside. A familiar voice for the 3 of you and you. that of a town crier, probably making his last rounds. And as he goes by, you hear, "Third earthquake in 2 days damages Gilfar's walkway, rendering the northern gate useless for a time. The southwest gate will receive all foot traffic. Mysterious fire burns down beloved noodle stand, culprit still at large. Accursed outlaw, Arkan Rendorian, seen in museum." And his voice dims as he walks up the street. A wave of guilt passes over a few of you, and you know who you are.
So, want to start a bar fight? Anybody?
I am literally
I don't think
in my town guard uniform.
I don't think she's allowed to do that.
Right, I can
That would
start
be
it.
super against protocol, so.
I can start it, and you can just play. It's like a...
If you started it, I could break it up, and then I could
Oh.
probably get some extra points for the boss.
Alright, what do you...
Okay, roll an attack.
First roll.
14... 15.
Nope, misses.
Whoom, you just totally miss. Like, you don't even dodge, you just miss, and there's an awkward moment.
Hang on. I don't know if I like this. I
If
thought
we're
we...
really gonna start a fight, you gotta really go for it.
No, wait, hang on.
Your mom's a whore!
Alright, make an attack roll.
13.
You scream it, and you try to grab his shoulder, and you just hit his arms away, and you're like, what?
Hold on. I thought if we were gonna have a bar fight, it would be, the whole gang back together against those ruffians over there or somebody else. I didn't think we were fighting.
All eyes in the bar are just on you now. The barkeep walks up, she says, "Now I don't want any fighting in my bar, say. I'll kick you out right on your arses if you do anything like that."
Don't worry, I've got it covered. Hey, stop that!
She sighs heavily and returns to her work. And at this point, back over in the corner, Brandon says, "So, what brings the two of you to Werthank? You don't see, well, you could be residents here. If you look like you could be from the kennel. You got a shiny coat right there.
Yeah, that's very true.
You look worse for wear, but definitely not affluent. Are you from the inners? You from somewhere else? What brings you here?"
Where are you from?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, everyone's coming from somewhere.
I'm coming from Carleone.
I'm coming from Nildor. Well, we're all in Carleone, aren't we?
Never left.
Nice, that's cool. You're cool. Sorry.
It's a strange vibe I'm getting from you, friend. I'm coming from Nildor, from the valley, the Halfling Valley, far off in the Nildor coast. Me mum and me pa live there
Oh, that's where
with
you're
my
born.
13 brothers and 12 sisters. Well,
Wow.
some of us have spread to the winds, but I'm off to start my fortune. And he
Good for
taps
you.
a bag like a sizable bag, about the same size as him. He says, "I'm gonna start a shop, a magic items shop,
Wow.
not far from here actually.
Magic items.
Yeah, so I'd like to peddle them. I have a friend. He said he'd meet me here, but he's not here at the moment. But he's the one who get me started with all of this. He was a family friend of my father's. And as this conversation is happening, everyone in the bar feels sort of like a,
Whoa.
and the floor begins to rumble a little bit.
Oh, it's another earthquake.
Doorway. And I just...
And as you start going towards the doorway, the whole place rumbles and the floor falls out. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Do you want to go around?
Yeah.
17.
17, nice.
11?
Okay.
19.
Okay.
10.
23.
Okay, the two of you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall. The three of you manage to, and Brandon, managed to pretty successfully negate any impact. You land and you roll, or you sort of just like prestidigitate towards the ground. The two of you are cut completely unawares. You fall backwards off of your stool and hit your head on the ground, and you're just too heavy in all of your armor.
Clang.
Clank, 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 goong! And as there's just a lot of noise and raucous sound of earth falling onto earth and boulders smashing into each other. And as the dust slowly clears, you find yourself in a cave. A cave that has been dug out beneath where this bar was. You look around, and it looks like the only 6 people who survived this earthquake where the 5 of you and Brandon, who sort of stands up and brushes himself off, and he says, "Well, that was strange. The earthquakes, I've been hearing about them, but that was absurd."
Are you okay? Is everyone okay?
This
You
was
alright, Wallace?
not on the city map.
I'm fine.
You guys okay?
I'm okay.
Sorry?
I'm trying to get up.
Yeah, you push your way to your feet. You're sort of pushing off. As you look up and around, you see that it's a pretty enclosed space. The ceiling has caved in places around you, and there doesn't look to be any way to exit from where you are.
Can you fix this?
Well, yes, I could.
You can fix this.
Yes, fine.
First, hi, I'm Brandon Toothsnatcher. Nice to meet you all.
Hi, I'm Kira Burke. It's so great to meet you.
Good to meet you. Yes.
I love a new face.
You have a last name, unlike these two.
Yes.
Do they not?
The name's Tapper.
And do you have a last name?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
This is so weird.
Brandon Toothsnatcher. No, I won't snatch your teeth. It's a long story. Me great-great-great-great-grandmother had an encounter with a dragon. I'll tell you the tale sometime, but once we're out of this predicament,
Yes.
I won't take your teeth. What's your name?
Wallace.
Make a deception check, please.
Wallace Smith.
Wait, make a deception check, please.
5.
Ooh.
You're lying.
Everyone, including the people who thought that you were telling the truth before, are like,
Wallace.
that doesn't seem right.
You're lying, and I respect that.
Well, okay. Excuse me, but someone tells you their name, you're not gonna be like, that's not your name. I'm not gonna be like, your name's not Kira. I don't believe you.
Yes, it
Your name
is.
is Kira. I don't.
Oh my god,
prove
it is. Stop it.
Prove it. I don't.
All right, now's not the time.
Whatever. I just think
but,
it's a little rude.
but Wallace,
I think it's rude.
the only reason I'm thinking that you might be telling a lie here is because you said in the middle of your.
It's a family.
name.
It's an initial. R-A-A. Can you read?
Oh, yeah,
Those
of course
mean
I can
anything?
read.
Whatever.
This accent
It's
is just
family. Thank
poor.
you for making part of my culture.
I think there are more important things to worry about than our names, Wallace Smith. Listen, I can help with this, and I pull a little book out from my pocket and flip through to the page and cast mending. on the broken.
Okay,
on the
make an
broken
Arcana check, because mending. I don't think mending goes that big. I'm gonna mend the bar.
I can't fix the ceiling.
It used to be like a small object.
I think it's like my broom.
I'll let you
broke.
try. I'll let you try. Make it
16?
16. You like utter an incantation, and like a couple of pieces of stone form back into a boulder.
Well, okay, that's better than nothing.
Thank
Now
you.
what?
Thank you.
Are there any
Right.
other entrances or exits?
Make a perception check. Investigation check.
Is it low light? Do I have to do?
It is low light. There is some light coming in through cracks in the ceiling, but it is low light at the moment. Did you activate your thing, or is it just?
Yeah.
So as Kira says this, she taps a bracelet, sort of like a bracer on the top of her armor, and it starts to glow with sort of a blue, pale-ish energy.
17.
17. You start to look around, you start to walk around, and you notice that over on one side there does seem to be an opening. A very, very small opening, like a child could fit through it.
I look at Brandon.
He's rummaging through his pack to make sure things haven't broken.
Brandon.
Yes?
That little hole over there.
Right. Oh.
Think you could get through that?
Oh, yes, but I don't think my bag would fit too well.
I'll hold on.
Not
Actually,
you.
I can hold on to it.
Yes, you're a town guard. I think I trust you. Don't look through it if you
I
don't mind.
won't.
All right.
That sounds
I'll go
suspicious.
look through. If I scream, please help.
Of course.
Please help.
Oh, I will try.
I don't know. That's on you. Whew. And you see as he's going in, he sort of psychs himself up, and he grabs onto a necklace around his neck that is just a small silver triangle. He grabs onto it and he mutters something, and then he ducks down and goes to the hole.
What's in his bag?
Yeah, can we look in the bag?
No, I promise. You
Guys,
would not.
You don't think that
Open
seems
it.
suspicious?
Open it
Don't look in
up.
the bag?
It's about personal safety, okay?
Do you think there's a small animal in there?
No.
He hasn't even been
Stop
gone
it.
for a minute.
He can hear
He
you.
can probably still hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you. It echoes real well in
What's
here.
in your bag, Brandon?
Is it a small animal?
It's roughly the size of a child.
There's not a child in there. I'm trying to start up an item shop, so it's got a lot of items. Magic items of the magic variety.
Let me see the bag.
Don't look at my bag.
Brandon, I will keep it safe.
Thank you. I trust you. All right. So the situation in here isn't. And as he says this, you start to hear another rumble.
Brandon, get out of there.
Brandon?
And as you look around, you see that the boulders, not the one that you mended, but other ones in the room, just start to
Oh boy.
burst out, and what you see a couple earth elementals. There are 3 of them that are quite small, like very small sized. They're not big at all. I have the minis, but we can't use them. I can show you guys though. There are 3 of them that are about this size here. They're very
that's
small.
not big at all. I
Yeah.
can just step on it.
In comparison to a medium-sized one, which was like this. So they're quite small.
Okay.
They seem a little misshapen. One, however, does strike you as a little horrifying because it's about this big. Three small ones, 1 big one, and the big one sort of slides its way in front of the door that Brandon had previously went through. I want everyone to roll initiative. And I will go around and ask you for your initiative when I need it from you. Thank you. -1. Fuck. I don't have big. Sorry, give me a second. Big guy.
Is now the time for this?
I'm just going to do introductions right now. It's a nice cave we have here.
It did seem pretty nice until just like a couple of seconds
Sure,
ago.
yes.
Cool. Millie.
This will be fun.
1.
Oh my god. Okay. Wallace.
5.
I rolled a natural 1.
Good.
It's a 1 no matter what.
19.
19? Okay, cool. Nice. Thank you, Tapper. Kira.
11.
11. And Oliver.
8.
This wasn't great for you guys. Cool. So the initiative begins with Tapper. Tapper, you see basically in the center of the room. We're doing theater of the mind because we don't have maps yet. In the center of the you guys find yourself vaguely in the center of the room. The big elemental is over by the door, some 40 feet away from you. The other 3 are 2 of them are like in a triangle formation with him. One of them is behind you.
Oh, one of them is behind us?
Yeah.
Alright, I will run to the one behind us.
Cool.
And I will make a strike with my quarterstaff.
Cool. Go for it.
Oh, and I've assumed my drunken swaggering about persona. So that's that would be a 22 to hit.
22 will hit. Roll your damage.
All right. Actually, no.
Just keep. Yeah, you can keep attacking.
No, make him. Make a Constitution save.
Constitution saving throw. Cool.
Why did I do that against him?
That is
That was a terrible idea.
14.
14. That's tied with my spell save.
So he saves.
All right, he succeeds. All right, never mind.
So you crack him with your first thing. Okay, so what you see is Tapper looks around and then sort of like falls into a drunken stupor and starts to like running over there haphazardly. Sort of falls to the one side where the earth elemental turns, then he spins around with his staff and cracks him right in the back. You see a crack sort of form up the side of it.
I'll just make. Should I do all my attacks?
Yeah, go for it now.
All right. Then I'll make a second attack with quarterstaff.
Cool.
That's gonna be a 15.
15 will not hit.
Okay. And then I'll throw a kick in there.
Cool.
For an unarmed strike on bonus action. Doesn't hit.
Cool. So you get your 1. Roll for damage on
Alright.
on the 1.
That's 10 damage.
10 damage, cool. And as you crack into it, you realize it's not dealing as much damage as you would normally think because you're hitting rocks. But yeah, you hit it good. You hit it good, kid.
Thank you.
So that would be cool. That makes it the big one's turn. The big one is gonna like sort of glide forward and come up to the biggest looking threat, which is you, Kira. And it's gonna go up and take 2 big slam attacks on you. Rolled a 10 twice, but it gets to add stuff. 18 to hit both times.
No.
Cool. What's your AC? Can you say it for the camera? Can you say it?
It's 21.
At level 5.
Wow.
So
How?
it slams its big hand down, and you just sort of duck under one of the attacks. And as its other one comes down, you raise your shield and bash it out of the way. Cool, that's its turn. The small one that Tapper hit is going to make its 1 attack on Tapper. And that's a 10 to hit.
Nope.
So it sort of just like projectiles like a bit of its rock out towards you, and you duck and you smack the rock to the ground with your staff. Cool.
Oh. No, never mind.
Cool. Kira.
I am going to slash at that guy who just tried to hit me with my long sword.
Cool.
So let's see. 26.
26 will hit. You can
Yeah.
roll both if you want.
Okay. And then 13.
13 does not hit.
So then just one old slash. That was not. So 12 damage
12
on the first
damage.
one, and I'm going to do unwavering mark on him.
Cool. So you slash into it and you sort of chip out a little bit of the stone, and the second one just sort of bounces off. You do 12, and that goes down to that. Cool. And you feel like your sword's not dealing as much damage as it would against flesh, but
Okay.
And you see sort of a haze appear around this creature as Kira strikes it.
Is it the biggest one?
It's the biggest one, yeah. Cool. Oliver, your turn.
I'm also gonna turn to the biggest one, and I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead.
Cool.
So the target must succeed on the Wisdom saving throw
It's
or
not
take.
good at that. That is a 4.
No, does not.
He is not
He is
wise.
not, and he has to take 2d12.
Cool. Roll it.
Cool.
Told you that is the best cantrip.
It's really good.
It's
well,
so good.
Eldritch Blast is the
Eldritch
best.
Blast.
I love it.
That's 9.
Any Warlock mains out there?
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15.
15 points of
I'm bad at
damage.
math. That should be known before we start.
You're what?
Bad at math.
Okay.
15.
15, cool. So, Oliver sort of reaches his hands out and makes a symbol, and then you all hear this like goong sort of gong sound, and the big guy, parts of the rock seem to start vibrating and fall off as you do a good chunk of damage there. I'm also not that good at math, which is bad because I'm a DM.
Just a forewarning.
Cool. Anything else you want to do? Any movement you want to take? Because you're still I'd say like 10 feet away from the thing.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna back up to a part of the room that's probably furthest away from where the.
Cool. So you can
guy
back
is
to the
going.
side. There's the two over here. You guys are sort of in a clump over here, and then there's Tapper and his boy over here. So you're like here-ish.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up like that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you run your feet back. We'll have maps next time, folks. I'm so sorry. Cool. So you just sort of run back and prepare. Wallace,
Can I ask?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Is my familiar currently with me?
you got to take a bonus action to pull it out.
Cool.
Or an action. I'll look it up. Wallace, what do you want to do?
Who's closest to me?
The big one.
Big one? I'm gonna use the. Can I assume that there are stones on the ground?
Yeah. You're in a cave made of stone at the
The
moment.
magic stone, cantrip on a stone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw it at him
Okay. What does that do?
with my sling. And so, if I hit it.
Yeah. Okay. Roll your sling attack. Well, is the magic stone cantrip an action? Is the magic stone cantrip an action or a bonus action?
It's a bonus action.
It's a bonus action.
Okay, so you make the stone magic, and what did you roll?
1.
You boom, just let go of your sling completely, and it boom, 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 and clinks off the ground next to him.
It happens.
Anything else you want to do?
No.
Okay. It takes an action to summon Griffin, not a bonus.
Cool.
So the Earth Elemental and everyone in the room just sort of looks over at Wallace. He's like,
I'm a lover. What can I say?
cool. The one of the small elementals is going to go up and get up to you, Oliver, as you have done some serious damage, and it's sort of crawls up, just barely making it up to you, and it's going to make one attack on you. That is a 19 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, 19
yes.
will hit, and it's a d8 plus 5 damage. So that is 9 points of damage as it sort of shoots its rock into you. Just like, sort of like it's a punch. It's a punch. It's a rock punch. The other one, Millie, and the other one are on the same initiative, so you can go first.
All right, I want to get up to the one that's engaged with Kira.
The big one.
Into a position where one could say we're flanking.
Would you say flanking?
I
All right,
won't
so you
say
sort of
flanking.
roll behind it.
Aha! And I'm gonna hit it with my rapier. I'm I'm not gonna hit it with my rapier because that's a 1.
Yeah, you
no.
stick it with the rapier, and then it shifts and it pulls the rapier out of your hand. It goes this way, so it breaks your finger. It breaks your finger open because that's not how you hold the rapier. And
Take out my daggers.
you don't have that anymore.
Alright, I
That's
just want
gone.
to say,
Not again.
in general, we should try to hold on to our weapons.
Wallace!
Anything else? Bonus action.
Can I do my offhand with my dagger?
Yeah, you take the action. You just. What did you even do?
That was my dagger.
Oh, it came out of your hair. Okay, you're good.
She had a knife in her hair.
16 plus.
That'll hit. That'll hit.
Okay. Is it still sneaky?
Yeah, that's
Yay!
an attack because your first one just fucking missed.
Alright, so it's a d4 and 3d6.
Do you do D6s?
Yes, please. 8, 9, 10, 12.
12. Cool. 12 points of damage. Half to 6. Which is 5. Cool. So you lose it, and then you just sort of like pry out a stone a little bit on it. It sort of turns and looks at you. The other one is going to come up right behind you, flanking you with its big boy, and it's going to take its strike on you. That is 13 to hit.
No.
And you sort of like step up over its like swipe. Cool. That takes us back to the top with Tapper.
Alright. I'm just gonna keep hitting him.
All right. Cool.
So that's
Yes, punching rocks is generally very effective.
staff. More effective than you so far.
Right there.
That's oh god. That's a 17
That'll
and
hit.
a 26.
Both will hit.
Yeah, both with the staff.
Cool.
I'll roll damage for those before I switch to
Cool.
So that's 17 damage.
17 in total.
Yep.
Cool.
For the two of them. And then you know what? I'll make 2 more. I'll burn a key point. And
Cool.
Make 2 more unarmed attacks.
Awesome.
We'll call it 2 kicks. Oh, that's a 17 and a nat 20.
Okay, 17 hits, nat 20 hits. Roll the 17 damage first, and then the nat 20 hit.
Okay, 17 damage is. So that's 6.
6,
damage.
cool.
How do you roll a crit again?
You double the dice,
Just double the dice?
and then you add your modifier afterwards.
Alright. So that's 13.
13, cool. So you run, you've dodged previously, and you whack it, and then you throw your thing up, and you do this like fucking spin kick shit. Kick its like head, like the top of its body, just completely off. It crumbles, and catch your staff, and slowly lower to the ground, and then fall back into your drunkenness
Alright.
as you have killed this thing. Woo!
Alright.
All right, one down, couple to go.
First
Cool.
kill of dungeon party.
Yeah, first kill of dungeon party. A little
On a
stone
nat
boy
20.
on a nat 20.
On a
That's
nat
pretty
20.
cool. That's rad.
You're gonna do it in class.
Yeah. Cool. Now it is the big one's turn. The big one is going to take 1 strike against Kira because it's mad at you. Shit, that's not gonna fucking hit. That's 15. Yeah, you with your AC of 21, and it's gonna turn around and take a strike on Millie
Disadvantage.
because of your mark. Fuck you. 12 to hit, Millie.
Nope.
So you just and it takes its other arm and you just duck out of the way and it hits the ground. No dice.
I make eye contact with Kira, like around its body, like.
It sort of like makes a rumbling noise in frustration. Kira, your turn.
Okay, well, I mean, it keeps trying to hit me, so I'm just gonna actually hit it.
Okay.
Or I will. It's a, what is that? A 13?
Mm-mm.
Oh, but maybe I'll just try it again.
Okay, give it another
With
shot.
Just as much confidence.
Okay.
That's worse.
So Kira says, "I'm gonna actually hit it," and king, king. Oh, and I think the mark fades, right?
Yep, I'll just remark it though.
Cool, remarked. So the haze fades, but then comes right
Whoops.
back. Or do you have to hit to mark it? Because if you do, then you don't get to mark it again. Okay, no mark. The haze fades from around it. Cool. That'll make it. Oliver, your turn.
So there's one coming at me right now?
There's
Or
one right
that's
up on
kind of
you.
In my area?
Yeah, he's right up next to you.
Alright, I'm gonna firebolt him.
So it is a ranged spell attack, so you're gonna make it a disadvantage because he's in melee with you right now.
Cool. So I roll twice.
Roll twice, take the
Take
lower.
the lower. That's a natural 20, so.
Oh,
18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be a 15.
Cool.
Does that hit?
That one does hit. Yes.
Cool. That's 2d10. That's 4.
4 points of damage.
Yeah.
Cool. And surprisingly enough, the fire does full damage to it. So you roast him. You roast him. You toast him.
Roast him.
Awesome.
Your mom's annoying.
Dude, solid roast.
Roasted.
Dude, solid roast right there. That was good.
Yeah, in my spare time, I do a little bit of stand-up. Kira does the same.
Anything else you want to do?
Is he? No, I don't. I can't attack again, can I?
No, unless you have a bonus action spell.
Nope, I'm good.
Cool. Wallace.
So there's only one left?
No. There's the big one and 2 small ones. One of them is up on Oliver. One of them is behind Millie.
What about Peter?
There were 3.
There were 4.
There were 4 originally. He killed 1. There's 3
Ooh,
left.
I thought there were 3. Brendan, you still in the
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I figure something's going on out there, so I'm gonna stay in here.
You wanna come out and help?
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Alright, that's my line. First of all, I'm gonna look in your fucking bag.
Please don't look in my bag. Actually, you can look in my bag. It's got in there. There's a necklace with some red beads on it, and if you throw them, that'll be good.
Alright, Kira.
Kira's right up in the action. Like running over to Kira, you're gonna be running straight into melee
Are
range.
you holding the bag?
Yeah, I still have
The bag is
I have
like
the bag.
next to Kira.
Can you kick it over?
If you wait 6 seconds!
I'm gonna run over and try to get into the bag.
Okay, make an investigation check.
What is that plus?
Your investigation score.
Oh. Great. So sorry, everyone. It's gonna be a 13.
13. You ruffle through like the chips. Sponsored by Ruffles.
Tommy's angry.
We're not sponsored by Ruffles.
We would like to.
Yeah, sponsor us. I don't care.
We made
Episode
it through,
1
like,
sponsorship.
30 minutes.
You wrestle through and you find like a little silver necklace with 3 red beads on
Do I
it.
see anything else in there?
You see a lot of stuff, but it's all sort of tucked away in parcels. So you'd have to open up the parcels themselves.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the smallest parcel that I can, and I'm just gonna stick it in my pocket.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you make a perception check? I guess. And you too.
Do
you
I
can
have
see
to
this.
At disadvantage because
Disadvantage.
she's fighting.
Yeah, disadvantage for both of you because you're.
It's a 17. Perception.
At disadvantage, that's a 17?
Yeah.
Alright, you do see Wallace pocket something real quick before taking out
Just
the
like
necklace.
gosh,
Yeah,
just-
nothing.
I see.
Alright. Okay, Brendan, what do I do with the necklace?
You throw the beads at your enemies, but make sure nobody else is around.
Alright. Is there one that's not?
There's one right next to him,
Ah!
and then there's 2 that are like in this mass that you're right up on.
I'm so glad I'm far.
I'm gonna throw it at the closest one to me.
Like literally right in front of you.
Can I can I run away a little and then throw
You'll
it?
take an attack of opportunity if you run away.
Sneakily.
You'll take an attack of opportunity if you run away. Also, you've used your action to search, so you're gonna have to throw it next turn anyway.
Okay. Well, can I start running away?
Yeah, he's gonna try to swing at you. That is a 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Cool. 2, 6, 11 points of damage. Is it like as you run away and he like boom, clocks you over the back of the head?
Oh.
Yeah, not
me
super.
Ow.
All right, the small one up on you is going to attack you once more. And as it attacks you, it like slams its little rocky fist into the ground and becomes embedded there, and it seems like it can't pull it out.
Haha.
Cool. That will make it Millie. Your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna dagger, because I have 2 of those.
Nice.
For my offhand attack, what do I not add to it?
Your proficiency
Proficiency?
bonus, unless you have the feat.
I don't.
Cool.
The first attack is an 18.
Maybe.
The second attack is a...
I think you hit fine. I think it's damage that it's
Damage?
just
Okay.
less damage.
The second attack is a 9.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit anyway, so it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
so does the first one hit?
18?
Yeah.
On the big guy.
On the big guy?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, and that's sneaky, right?
Yeah, sneaky.
Can
Lemon
I-
sneaky.
Thank you. 8 plus 4, 12 again.
How much?
12.
12 in total. Cool. And that is going to be half. Sorry.
That's alright, I'm not magic-y. Yet.
Yeah. Cool. So you stab into it, and you do like stab into it, and you see like a gemstone sort of shatter inside of it.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else you want to do?
I'm gonna use my... No, never mind. Nope, I'm good. I used
Okie
my
dokie.
bonus.
The one behind you is going to leave your melee range, so you can take an attack opportunity if you
I
want.
would love that.
Cool.
20.
20 will hit, yeah.
Wait, D4? 8 damage.
8. Cool. Cool. And as it sort of like starts gliding along the ground next to you, you turn around and with your offhand dagger, you just stab into it and scrape some shit out. It goes over, actually towards you. It's going over towards you, and it's going to also make a strike on you. So there's 2 up on you.
Oh, dear.
14, 19 to hit.
Yep.
You're great.
That
Where
is
are you?
6 points of damage.
Okay.
As it rocks you. Rocks you, Amadeus. Cool. Sorry, I'm sorry. Tapper,
Amadeus.
your turn.
Yeah.
I like the dirty looks Evan gives me from the closet every time I do something wrong or bad.
Alright, so there's 2.
2 up on
There's 2 on
Oliver.
Oliver.
The big one is still
The big
in
one's
the middle,
in
next
what?
to between those 2.
One is stuck. Though.
One is stuck in the ground. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna run over to Oliver
Cool.
and help out over there.
And you have 4,000 movement, so
Yes,
I
have
believe that you can make it there.
45 move speed.
Jesus Christ.
And I might bump that up before this turn ends.
Okay.
I'll have to decide.
You're feeling fun.
Feeling frisky.
Monks are great. Play monks.
Sponsored by
Monks.
Alright, so there's the one stuck in the ground, there's the one who just got here.
The one who just went over to... Yeah, they're both the 2 remaining small ones. One of them's in the ground, one of them...
I'll take 2 quarterstaff hits at the one stuck in the ground.
Cool. So you flank around to the other side of Oliver.
How stuck is he? Are these normal attacks? Or do I have advantage?
Advantage. You have advantage on
Oh, I have
this.
advantage on
Yeah,
both
he's
of these?
super fucking stuck.
Oh, hang on, I need more dice.
Okay.
I have the elven advantage thing where you like if you have
Oh,
advantage
yeah,
you can
yeah.
roll again.
That's a...
Oh, wow.
Fuck that feat.
It's broken.
At least it's not luck. Does anyone here have luck? Did anyone take luck?
No.
Roll that just in case.
I mean,
Then
No.
we leveled up.
I did that on camera.
that's 20, and then the next one. Fuck it, let's get it higher. It's so 22 and 21.
Yeah, both hit. Yeah,
Okay.
easy,
Okay.
both hit. Yeah.
I'll roll the damage for those. That's gonna be 15.
15
On the
total.
one stuck in the ground. Yeah.
Cool.
15
15 total, which is cool.
You know what? I'll do 2 more. I'll do 2 unarmed.
Cool with your key point.
Yeah, I'll burn off
Awesome.
another key point.
Still have advantage. He's just stuck as shit.
Great. Let's keep going.
It's the upstairs neighbors.
I was like,
That's a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
And a 18 to hit.
Both hit. Yeah. On these small guys, 18 will be sufficient. Actually, also on the big guy. But.
And that's another 15 damage.
Another 15 damage. Cool. So you slam into this boy, this poor rock boy, and it's not a rock boy. And you hit it a bunch of times, and part chunks of rock are coming off. Like you're nervous. You're gonna get smacked because he is flailing wildly, but he seems to like the strikes are very precise in very specific places. Pretty impressive.
Very drunkenly precise.
Hey man, for having like died the last time we played, you're doing great.
Don't jinx me, please.
Okay. The big one is going to whip around, take 2 strikes on you because it realizes you're futile for now. The first of which is going to be 14.
Doesn't hit.
Cool, and 16.
Hits.
Cool. The second one does it. So you're going to take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as he smacks down into you.
Uncanny dodge.
Really heavy. Cool. You can take half of it. He's a big boy made of earth. Like when he hits you, it hurts. And as soon as he's done with that, he is going to start making his way towards you.
do I get?
You can take an attack of opportunity. Yeah. You already took yours.
I rolled
a 2.
Cool. You just clink off the back. You're not finding a lot of luck hitting this with your metal sword. It's rocks.
My
You know,
rapier.
makes sense. Your rapier goes with him. Cool, and that will make it Kira's turn.
Well, I guess I have to move back into his space.
Yeah, you can follow him up. He
Yeah.
has gotten up on you at this point.
Yeah, so I'll try to hit him
Cool.
twice.
Uh-oh.
Maybe 15.
15 will not hit either time. Not on this one.
Well, I'll do it again. I'll just take a action surge.
Action surge, cool.
Action surge. One of them's an 18. The other one's again a 15.
18 hits. You get one hit. Out of the 4 you could have taken, you do hit one
At
time.
least I can mark him now.
That's true.
What do we gain an advantage from her marking it?
You get not hit.
You get not hit as much. He takes disadvantage.
10 damage,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I'll mark him.
Cool.
It doesn't give us advantage.
No.
No, but
It just makes it
It's
harder.
what you
Disadvantage
can
to
get,
hit.
Carol.
You haven't seen the combo yet. I'm excited.
It'll happen, I'm sure. Cool. Anything else for you, or are you good?
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Cool. Griffin.
I'm surprised
all
at
over.
this, at all of this, and I'm backing away.
You are going to take one attack of opportunity.
I'm not
doing that.
I'm not gonna back away. Are they both up and going?
One of them's still stuck in the ground. But then the one that recently came up to you, that just hit you, is raring to go.
I'm totally the dead on him
Cool.
once again.
Cool.
Wisdom saving throw.
That is a 12.
And is he missing hit points?
Yeah.
2d12.
Fails.
6 and 8 damage.
8 damage. Cool. You tall him. You hear that familiar bell ringing noise in your guys' head, and as you do so, you see you're right there. You see his eyes sort of cloud over with some like shadowy magical energy.
His?
Yeah.
Okay.
As he like casts this spell, it's like dark energy. You feel a little unnerved. Like the bell isn't pleasant for any of you, but it only damages this one. Cool. Anything else?
Sorry, you have to get used to it if we're gonna spend time together.
Alright.
Anything else? Or are you good?
I'm good.
Cool. Wallace.
Can I try and grab the Reaper out of the...
Yeah, sure. Make a. We're gonna go grapple, and he's at disadvantage because it's in his bag. So acrobatics or athletics, your pick.
Nice. Athletics, because I'm proficient in that.
Nice.
Sorry. That's going to be a 19.
He got a 10, so you like whip around him and whing, pull the rapier out.
Call me King Arthur. I'm going to toss it back to Millie, because she knows how to use it better than I do.
Dex, both of you.
Oof.
14.
19.
Cool. It goes pretty well. The throw's like not great, but you maneuver yourself enough to catch it.
That was almost a nat one. I watched that roll happen.
Cool. That's your action. If you have any bonuses you want to take.
No.
Cool.
Thanks, Wallace.
Awesome. Wallace, good. Okay, so the one.
A bonus action. I'm going to tell everyone, remember, I have an exploding, I'm assuming, necklace, and I'd like to use it, so if you could stay away from them, that'd be nice. I say in a panicked way as the thing is upon me.
We're separated from that at this point, right?
Yeah, the two of them are away. The two of you are next to the two small ones,
Okay.
and Millie is in the middle of the room.
I don't know if I should keep
Rapier back.
yelling on these guys or if I should leave.
So the one that is stuck in the ground is going to try to remove itself, and it does. It and pulls itself out. Its arm is now like chunkier. It like took the rock with it, so it's like super deteriorated mostly, but its
Just
arm
a
is now
huge arm.
swole.
He's almighty, if you know what I mean.
And that's going to be the action for that one. It's like going to grumble. Millie.
Alright, I'm gonna clear the center of the room. I'm gonna go over to, like, where Tapper is. and
Over
just-
by the other two small elementals.
Oh, never mind. I'm going away from the elementals.
Cool. So just sort of like to the entrance of the cave that Brandon went through, or
Yeah,
to the
I'll
one
go
that
there.
Tapper
I'll
killed
go there.
before. Cool. So you
I'll
make
be
your
ready.
way most of the way over there, and Brandon says, "Is it over?
No.
All right. Well, good luck."
Thanks.
That's your turn.
Yep,
Cool.
I'm standing.
The other one is going to the one that you just damaged is going to hit you back because it's not happy with you.
Of course.
That's a 19 plus 8, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that hits. That is a 10 points of damage.
Okay,
As
that's bad.
as its sort of shoulder rock sort of nudges into your gut, and you feel you almost vom, but you don't. Tapper, back to the top of the round. Tapper.
Real life.
Alright. So this one in front of me is still alive?
They're both looking real worse for wear, but they're both still up.
Okay. I'll hit the first one with a quarterstaff attack. Whoops. That's unnatural 20.
Cool, that'll hit.
Should I roll damage?
Roll damage.
Okay. That's 10 damage.
10 damage. Yeah, as you just smack straight through it. You smack it right on the head, and it crumbles inwards and is no longer animated.
Alright, am I close enough to just turn to the other one? and
Yeah,
keep going?
they're right next to
Alright,
each other.
Let's do it. Let's do my quarterstaff and unarmed.
Cool. I mean, roll one first.
One. Oh, okay.
They're not doing so hot.
Great. That's an unnatural 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And 8 damage.
8 damage. This one does not go down.
Not yet.
Not yet. You can make another attack if you want.
Alright, yeah, I'll throw an unarmed
You
attack.
smack it, and it's swole arm. You knock it straight off. Like it was like and
I
then you
thought
knock
that
it
was
off.
one that died.
They're the same.
Got it. Yeah, I'll make my single unarmed attack.
Cool.
So not burning any key there. And that is a 21.
That'll hit, and don't even roll damage. He has 1 HP left.
Cool.
And you smack the arm off, and then you just kick it like straight through its rocky face, and it crumbles. You have all 3 kills of the campaign so far.
Well done.
Just so you know.
Redeeming
Are any of you
yourself.
guys going to start helping out, huh?
Cool. Any movement you want to use, or?
How far are we from the big one that's still alive?
The big one is 60 feet from you guys, or like 55.
Can't even reach that.
Cool. Oh man.
I'll hang it. Yeah. I'll move. Let's say 15 feet towards it.
Cool. You just inch a little farther towards it. Awesome. It is that one's turn. That one is looking very frustrated at what is going on around it. It sees that its little babies have been killed, so it's going to start moving in that direction towards the 2 of you. The 2 of you can take opportunity attacks. Yours, you have a weapon. Bam.
Nat 20.
Fuck.
Natural 19.
Cool. You'll hit, roll damage, and give me half. You hit, roll damage, and give me the whole thing. Because
Or 9, so half.
4.
I just
Cool.
want to tell you what I did. It was hit him with my belaying pin.
I figured, yeah. 2. plus your strength modifier.
Well, they rolled a 2, so it'd be 4.
Oh,
because I got
wait.
a 20.
Yeah, but
Do I use proficiency bonus too?
No, not for damage.
Okay. Then that's gonna be a 3.
3. Woo!
That's 3.
Cool. It would be halved, but I'm just not having it.
That's
Cool. So yeah, you both smack into it as it goes away, and it's gonna use all of its movement to make it right up next to you and like tower over you and growl angrily in your face. Although it is falling apart quite heavily. Cool, Kira.
Emotionally too.
Well, I can't really get to it anymore.
No. Well, you could run all the way over, but it's about 45 feet away from you now.
So I could run 30 feet and then throw a hand out.
You could do that.
What if I did that? I will. 19.
19 will hit.
Ha! 10 damage.
10 damage. 5 gets you at, and it sinks into the back. And this thing is like crumbling at its seams. It's not doing so hot at this
Okay,
point.
well I'm just gonna hit it with another hand.
you whip out a hand axe, throw it. Whip out another hand axe, throw it.
You get a hand axe. You get a hand axe.
18.
18 just hits. Yeah, just hits. Or it does hit.
11 damage.
11 damage. Not dead yet. You smack it like back into the back of the head this time, and it's crumbling. It looks sort of like a skeleton made out of earth now, rather than a big chunky earth boy.
And I'm gonna remark it because
It's marked. Hazy. Oliver.
He's the last one.
Yeah.
I'm tolling again.
Nice. He's gonna make his save. That's a 14.
Cool.
What is your DC? It's on your spell save page or your spell sheet.
15.
15.
Cool. So roll that 2d12.
Cool. 11 and a 3.
3.
So 14.
It crumbles to the ground as this familiar bell tolls. For whom the bell tolls. Congratulations, you guys! First combat encounter of Dungeon Party complete. My
didn't die.
You killed my Earth children, and you didn't die. Good job, Peter. Cool. As sort of a commotion dies down, you hear Brandon sort of timidly ask, "Is everything done out there?
Yeah, Brandon, it's good.
We're fine.
Can I come back through, or?"
It depends, Brendan. What do you see in that hole?
Oh, it's not good per se. It's a big old hole. It's a big old hole with spikes in it. These gestures you can't see. It's just a voice. Well, a big old hole with spikes in it, and it looks like you could climb up, but if you fall, that wouldn't be great.
How big is it? Could we fit through there if we widen the entrance?
You can all fit in the room, yeah. It's just getting into the room that might be difficult.
Could you dig around a little? I don't know.
It's stone, so I can't say I could. I need to get this accent. I need to pick one for him.
Oh.
Anything anyone could do to get in here. I guess you could squeeze or crawl on your hands and or on your bellies.
Do you have anything like in your bag?
Oh, those! Did you use the explosion things?
No.
You could probably blow this thing out.
Alright.
Okay.
Moving away from
Let
the
me
wall.
give me. I'll tell you when I'm ready. And you hear some scuffling. And you're shite. Fuck. All right, I'm on the other side. You go for it.
I back far
We're
away.
back
I'm
up.
gonna take it. How do I use this? I take a little red dot.
You just throw it. It might take 2 or 3 or.
I'm gonna start with 1. Always give more. Can't have less. My mom always said that. Anyway, I'm gonna throw it.
You throw it and it explodes into a giant fireball. And you hear, and the whole cave sort of around you starts to shake, and some like rocks. The boulder you fixed comes and shatters back to the ground. You can see that it has been widened. You'll still have to crawl through, but you can get about halfway into this little thing. Just throw 1 more. That should be fine.
All right, my ass won't quit, as you might have noticed. So gotta make room.
It's an odd thing to say this time, but do what you need to do.
I'm gonna disagree there. I'm gonna throw it.
And you widen out, so you can all crawl through now this tunnel. And you can barely see on the other side that Brandon is sort of sitting cross-legged, looking nervous, playing with his necklace in the next room.
I'm gonna go pick up his backpack from where it's probably underneath some smush rock.
Yeah, there's some rock on it. It's not great.
Move it over, pick it up. We're gonna go through this here hole.
You crawl through. I mean, you all make it through. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
But you all make it through, and you find yourself in. It's a room. It's for all of you to fit in this section of the room. It's a little bit difficult because there's a room in the center. Like there's a ravine filled with like sharpened stone spikes.
That's a weird thing to have under a bar, don't you think?
My guess is this doesn't have much to do with the barkeep, as she's dead right now in the other room. This feels like someone else is doing. I heard there's been earthquakes around here lately. I bet there's somebody behind it, because this seems pretty on purpose. Purpose. I'll get it. I'll practice.
The whole UK, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Yes,
anyone
yes.
with any accent that's not ours.
So sorry. I'll get better.
Fantasyland.
Alright.
Doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah, it's a Werthank accent. Whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a, just so I understand, there are a bunch of spikes.
And then on the other side, another sort of ledge with another entrance that seemed like you could exit this room on the other side,
You have to
standing
jump.
up. You have to get across. And as you were looking at it, Brandon says, I'm pretty small, so I could fit through all the spikes. I sort of weaved my way through them, and he showed up his arms, and he's bleeding a little bit. He's like, it hurts a little bit, but as long as you're not falling onto them, I can't imagine it'd be too awful, but... And then he points up, and you can see that there are like nice arm holds and like footholds. You could rock climb feasibly your way up to an opening in the ceiling. It looks like not natural, It doesn't look man-made. It doesn't. It's an opening, and you can see like some water dripping down. Though it hasn't been raining, it is late summer at this point. And you can see the sunlight. Like, this room is pretty well illuminated.
Well, I'm gonna open up my backpack and pull out the 50 feet of silk rope that I have in there. And I'm gonna say, I've been around a bit. What if I go up there, secure a rope? We could do a little belaying system, so nobody has to fall. If I just climb up there.
As long as you make it, yeah.
Sure. Banking on it.
Right. Be careful, unless somebody else has a better idea.
Yes, DM, I have a question.
Yes.
If I were to send said familiar up there, could she fix a rope, or is she not smart
It's
enough?
a bird.
Yeah, with her
It's
little
less
feetsies.
of like being smart enough to do it. It's
The
more
lack of
dexterous.
thumbs, yeah.
No,
She
fingers
could
in the
potentially
bird.
go get someone who could do it. She can't talk, but
Perhaps it would be better if you did this.
Right. I wasn't aware of another option. So I didn't see that happen. Cause anyway, I'm going up.
all right. Be careful, please. Don't die.
Ow! I was planning on. Oh, fuck. Well, anyway.
All right. Make an athletics check for me. Oh no. Cool. So you start making it up. I'm gonna say you make it about 10 feet up before you and lose your grip. I need you to make another athletics check at disadvantage. Just a strength saving throw to see if you can hold on with one hand. No, not disadvantage. Just a strength saving throw. So just roll
so
it.
the
Roll
first-
again.
The first one.
Sorry.
Alright. 1. I mean, no. 19.
19. You.
Big difference there.
And with your big beefy arm muscles, you manage to pull your arm back on. You all like, oh, for a moment you're like, oh my god,
Just missing.
he was
just
gonna
missing.
fall. He was gonna fall.
Got you.
Make another athletics check.
Fuck me. Fuck me. +3.
Yes.
Should somebody else?
And then next, you like reach up again and you just completely lose your grip at this point.
I cast spider climb on you as you're going. Just
Okay.
grab onto the wall. Just grab onto the wall. Just
Dexterity
do
saving
it.
throw.
You couldn't have done that before.
You had that
Yeah,
the
you could've
whole
fucking
time.
done
You could have done that to begin
Look,
with.
it's a spell slot that I didn't think we were gonna use. But
Oliver, you had a
You
solution.
and you grab on you realize your hand just sort of sticks to the wall now, and it like really yanks your shoulder out real bad. But
Oh!
sorry.
Fun! Alright.
and you're good. You're just crawling on up there. Your feet and arms stick to the wall.
Anybody else have a sudden urge to save New York City?
Brandon says, "Is that in Skembra?"
Yep. So I get to the top.
You get to the top. You make your way up to the top, and you pull yourself over, and you find yourself in the street outside the bar. The bar itself has collapsed in on itself. It's fucked. There are lion knights just sort of searching around and looking, like pulling through the rubble and trying to get through. You recognize one of them as the Captain Sheena, who you sort of met before in your weird delivery escapade before this, as well as you saw come into the bar before. Yeah, so you're just out sort of in the middle of the street here. You guys currently, where the bar is located, it's not in the kennel, which is the slums of this district, called so because there's a lot of wild and stray dogs and stuff. But you're also not in the, what did I name it? It is called the Gilded, the Fiscal Plazas, which is the super high-end fancy area that you guys started out in. You're in sort of the mercantile district where the noodle bar was that you saw, and the wing stand and the Bolorama. Bolodrome, sorry. Yeah, so yeah. That's where you are.
I'm gonna fix the rope.
Cool. So there's not like a ton to fix the rope to. You're like in the middle of a street. You could walk over to like one of the buildings, which is like, I want to say 20-ish feet over to the side, and like hook it on there.
How deep is the?
You just climbed. You climbed 50 feet up. It's like a long climb.
I've got so much rope. I have 100 feet of rope.
Oh, you're good. Cool. So you want to tie the rope to each other?
Yeah, I'll
So
tie
make
the
a
rope
sleight
to
of hand
itself.
check, but instead of adding your dexterity modifier, add an intelligence modifier.
What did you just say?
So sleight of hand, but
no,
usually
I just didn't hear you.
instead of dexterity, you're gonna add intelligence to this.
Okay.
So that plus your intelligence, and then if you're proficient with sleight of hand, that your proficiency as well.
I'm not, but I am gonna say because of my sailing background, I feel like I should have some type.
Yeah, you're good. You're good enough for that. You can add your proficiency to this.
Okay. So that's gonna be 16.
Yeah, it's real sturdy. You got a nice figure 8 loop in there. And then you tie it off to the building, same way, and you just drop it down and it falls. At this point, a bunch of guards, the Captain Sheena comes over to you, flanked by 2 more guards, and says, "Hello, I recognize you. You're friends with our Kira, yes?
Yeah.
What happened here?"
Way back. I'm not entirely sure. 1 second though. All right, guys, you can start.
And she looks down. She says, "Oh dear, there's survivors."
We've got so there's a couple people down there. I've got a rope. We're gonna be fine. We're just getting them out.
Yes, if you need anything, please let us know. We're right here.
Can I have some money?
We'll talk about it after this. You should deserve a reward for this valiant rescue.
Oh yeah, I rescued them. They were just down there, and I saw them, and I said, "Poor
Deception,
people."
please.
Poor people.
Wallace!
That's gonna be a hot 7.
Well, I did watch you climb out of the hole, so I know that's not true. But a reward still should be in place. We'll talk about it afterwards. Please just get them out of there. Is Kira down there? Did she survive?
Yeah, she's fine.
And you see the relief wash over her face. She's clearly very worried about Kira. And she calls out. She says, "Kira, can you hear me? It's Captain Sheena.
Oh my gosh, hey!
Are you all right? How many are you?"
There's 6 of us. Well, 5. One of them's up there next to you,
Yes.
should be?
Yes. Your Janasi friend is up here. Good. Please be careful. Don't make any risky choices on your way up here, please.
You got it. I will follow protocol.
Good. I can count on you. We're gonna get you out of there, folks. Just hold on tight.
Oh, thank God.
So who wants to go up first?
Me.
Okay.
Okay.
Just watch your handhold. You know, that guy was a little slippery, so...
I'm
Maybe
part
a little
water. My body's made of water.
Alright, I'm gonna take the bundle. I'm gonna tug it. Wallace, you got me?
I got you.
I'm gonna tie it around my waist.
You're fine. It doesn't matter. I believe you know how to tie. The only one I'd be concerned about is Deirdre, and she's not here. So,
And then I'm gonna climb.
so you're gonna climb with this as like a belaying thing, not climb up the rope itself. You want a fireman's climb or you want a rock climb?
Well, I want to climb, but with this as a
Cool.
security. With
So make
Wallace holding on.
make
I'm
make your
also
athletics
gonna
check.
hold- If anything happens, I'm gonna.
Uh-oh.
8.
You climb up a little bit and you fall. You like sort of scrabble a little bit and you. But,
Okay, you go work with me here.
Wallace, can you maybe get some friends and just pull me up?
and the door that you tied it to just whips open, but it still holds on to the thing.
Okay, Captain.
Just pull me up, Wallace!
And then she says, yes. And together, you and 3 lion knights just pull Millie up. And as Millie sort of disappears over the lip, you hear the rest of you and Brandon are down there sort of waiting, looking up. And you hear from the doorway behind Brandon a low humming noise. Just sort of a voice like...
Is anybody there?
And as you ask that, the humming just stops abruptly.
Is the doorway open?
It's like a carved out doorway. It's like a cave entrance. It's hard. It's like dark. It's pitch black in there, so
Dark vision?
you can see sort of, but it's too wide a room for you to really see
Got it.
much in there. As you look in through the doorway, you see it goes for a little bit, and then there's a steep incline up what looks like a hill.
Okay.
Felix, darling, we need your help.
Felix is.
My familiar.
As he says this, a bird just materializes. A raven materializes on his shoulder.
Darling, could you go take a look for us? Go now.
Do
and
ravens
I-
have dark vision?
I don't know.
I have
I
one,
should
so
know that.
cool.
Do you have your Raven character sheet?
I don't. She doesn't have
I
to
have
do
one,
shit.
so I'm gonna go.
Amateur.
Hey, Griff.
Yeah.
Here. This is a companion character sheet.
Thank you.
Well, it's not really a companion, it's a familiar.
Oh, and there's birds all over it.
The raven does not have dark vision.
Okay.
Get her some more goggles.
At all.
She have
So-
little goggles.
What?
Can I get little goggles?
Maybe, not right now. The bird, Kira, what is her name?
Her name is Felix.
Felix flits into the room, and you're
I go
like
into,
a deep, earthy, bassy laugh.
I go into her eyes.
You see dark, because it's a pitch black room, and she's a bird who can't see in the
If
dark.
I have dark vision, that doesn't help because it's her eyes.
It's her
Cool.
eyes, I believe.
Okay.
I'll fact check that for next time. But for now,
Can you
we'll
fly a
leave it
little closer to the sound, Felix?
and you are hearing through Felix now. You have no awareness of your current body, and the sound gets louder, and you see, as Felix sort of lands, instinctually she flips back a little bit as a large stony object goes up, and then just sort of holds itself out there, and she's flitting around it.
Okay, definitely don't land on it, but I tell everyone else what's sort of.
So you're just sort of narrating.
Yeah.
You can't see or hear, but you're narrating. Cool.
Hello?
Oh, nice bird. A friend in these depths is what you hear in your brain, and you just sort of hear
A
mumbling.
nice friend, a nice bird, friend in these depths.
Here, bird. Land on my arm. We can be friends, you and I.
Okay, darling, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna land on the arm, and then you're gonna come back real fast. Come back.
Oh, well, that is the way.
Okay, hold on, turn
with
around.
the air folk.
Go back, take the land, and stay.
Oh, a bird. Welcome back.
Can I see anything?
It's pitch black in there. You really can't see anything.
Do you guys want to maybe check?
Should we go?
At this
figure out
point,
what is?
up on the top, you've untied.
Oh. Hey. Hello. Hi. There's
Yeah, they're my friends. They love me. We go way back. We talk all the time, tell secrets. I'm kidding. It's not really. But they are going to give me money. So. Anyway, who's next?
One of them looks at you and says, "Hey, wait, were you the..."
No.
All right. They'll be getting into trouble so soon out of prison now.
Prison?
And Captain Sheena says, "We've let her go, I assume, unless otherwise you better be trying to capture her, so let her live. She is a free woman. Right now, that is not our object. We need to pass the rope down for another. What is your name? What can I call you?"
Wallace?
Wallace. Yes, thank you. Just throw the rope down, please.
Great.
The rope. Brandon says, "Well, I'm curious about what's in there, but judging by the other things that are down here, I think it could kill me. So
Brandon, you go up.
I think, is that all right?"
Do you want your backpack?
I do. I would like that
Brandon,
very
hold
much.
on.
Yes.
Anything in that backpack that might let us see what's going on in there?
Little
What?
goggles for a raving guy.
That's a specialty item. I can't say I thought. I'm not much of a crafter myself. I've
No,
never run
it's
across
okay.
anything like that.
Didn't
And he
expect it.
rubs through his bag and says, "Well, there was a glowing orb in here, but it seems to be missing."
Oh well.
Right.
So, I mean, unless you want, I can create an explosion there. You can get a
That's
glimpse
not
real
a
quick.
not
Let's,
good way to make
Well,
friends.
actually, I can't do that either, because your Wallace A. Smith has my remaining fireball on
you
that
know what,
necklace.
Brandon? You can just go up there,
Alright?
and we will take care of it. You know, you've been through a lot already.
Yeah, that's
So-
fun. That's why I left home. I mean, I've only been gone for a couple of years now. 2 years. I've been traveling around gathering wares, and this is got some good adventure here, some capable folks. Once you
Oh, stop it.
I mean, with the exception of you, because you work here, but once you get your bearings, figure out what's going on. Would you like to? Could you meet me in the? Could you meet me in a gilded square, just by the fountain? I might have a job for you.
What kind of job is it, hey?
Yeah, of course, it'll pay.
Wonderful.
In essence, we'll get to that later. Just right now, let's get out of here.
Wiggling the rope. Somebody!
Yes. And he goes and he ties himself up,
Master
And-
Tooth Snatcher.
and he tugs it. Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you, Master Oliver.
That'll do for now.
Alright, Millie. Put your back into it.
You pull him up. It's not hard. His bag weighs a lot, but he weighs nothing. He's a slight little guy. So yeah, you pull it up pretty efficiently, pretty quickly. Meanwhile, the rest of you are down there. You hear this voice still talking to your bird.
I have there's like a little bit of light. If we all go together, say there's safety in numbers.
Sure.
And I think it doesn't sound aggressive.
From what you said.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
I mean, if anything, it likes your bird.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I hope it does. I hope it likes us. It's the problem.
We'll send-
Everyone likes Felix.
We'll send the bird like 5 feet in front of us.
Felix, darling, could you come back?
Oh, goodbye, friend. Such are the fleeting folk of air.
He said the same line.
Guys?
I had it scripted.
Guys?
Give us a minute!
We're gonna be a bit.
Let's
Well, now
go.
I have
Oh, I can feel you. There's a
Friend.
voice coming from a cave down there, and they're checking it out.
Oh, come!
We have to make sure there's no more survivors.
Well, now I have FOMO.
You know what?
Clank, clank.
I'm not gonna get
Hello?
I slide
Felix,
back down the rope.
Felix is flying.
You get some
for us.
rope burn.
I'm gonna
You have
stay
no
on.
pull. You have no pull.
And she
Yeah.
says,
Yeah.
I suppose
do
you
this.
can't. She went to jail once. I guess it makes sense.
So, Officer, what did she go to jail for?
Oh, that's confidential. I'm afraid you'd have to ask her. I also don't know. That's not my jurisdiction. I don't spend much time near the barred coffer. I'm the captain of the guard in the mercantile district, so that's not really my jurisdiction.
Ah.
You'd have to ask someone who works a jailer at the coffer itself. But for right now, that's not the issue. Why is she going back down? I mean, I know there's a voice down there. It's survivors, I suppose, but we could lift them up in the same... I'll never understand you adventuring a lot. Regardless, I guess we wait here for them.
Yeah, I can wait here if you have other things to do. But we can wait.
We're going to go check the rubble for more survivors.
Oh.
Please call us over if we're bringing people back up, yes?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh.
Can I? After she goes away, I feel like I'm like gonna kick a rock, twiddle my thumbs. What's around?
It's a nice day out. I mean, Caerleone, you are in the West Pride, which is the western region of Caerleone, which is the country that you're in, which is on the continent of Renarsia. For map references, I don't know if you can see that, but effectively,
Some of you will get one.
you're right around here. Yeah. If you back the project, you will get this map. Woo! But I'm not this map. You'll get a copy of this map. A digital one. So you guys are right around there. So it is late summer. It is a very dry and arid climate that you guys are in right now. You can see tall pine trees sort of sticking out over like way in the distance. Not close to you. You're sort of center city right now. It's warm, just like this fucking room.
It's a little warm.
Yeah. It's a sunny. Oh, it's night. It was night. It was evening. Right.
A sunny evening.
It's a sunny evening. It was evening, so it's cooled off a little bit, and you can see the stars. Not so much because of the light pollution in the area, just because if you look behind you towards the center of the city, it is lit up brilliantly. Both because they like to show their ostentatious shows of wealth, and because they fear for their safety all the time because they're super rich and have a lot to lose. Where you are right now, it's not terribly dimly lit, and there are lanterns being carried by the knights who are sort of setting them up all over the place around the disaster area. There's a crowd forming, sort of looking at what's going on. They've been roped off. There's a line of the Lion Knights just standing on either side of basically where you are, sort of keeping people back so they don't accidentally fall into any pits or disturb any of the ground beneath the area. Yeah.
So I'm not really free to wander. I
No.
have to cross the picket line.
You'd have to, yeah.
What can I look at the building that the rope is tied to?
Yeah, it's a 2-story building. It's pretty solid built, and you've tied it to the door of the building, like an iron door, and it's holding pretty sturdily. The door is open, and there is somebody in the house that are looking out at you. It's a child with a little stuffed lion, just sort of looking out at you, a human child. Clearly, this is their home, and they're very nervous about what's going on. But
I'm gonna go inside and have a chat.
as you start walking inside, the child goes, Mom, Mommy? And you hear a female voice say, "What is it?" He's like, there's a strange blue man coming into our home. And she says, Harold, come down here, bring the sword. And you hear poof, 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 poof on footstep on stairs coming down, and you see like a middle-aged man, sort of pot-bellied, balding, with his middle-aged wife. She's very waifish in like a nightgown, and like very scared, just hiding behind him. And he's got this like big broadsword in his hands, and he clearly doesn't know how to use it. He's just holding it there. He's like, stay away from our kid, please. I don't know who you are. But it's nighttime, and that's my child, so why is the door open, honey?
I don't know if you fucking noticed, but there's just been a massive earthquake.
Yeah, we noticed. That's why we're locked up inside here.
Okay. So, anyway, I was just using your door. I wanted to say hello, thank you. But clearly you've got a sword, and that's very important to you. I'm sorry. Have a nice night. Hopefully we're going to have a chat, have some tea, some lovely locals.
And like grabs his daughter, and they slowly start backing towards the stairs.
Sort of, fine. Is it because I'm blue? It's fine.
It's not because you're blue.
No,
I'm not
it's
racist.
Okay. I see what you're like here, your town.
You're a strange man coming into my home in the middle of the night and talking to my child.
There's been an earthquake. Okay.
That doesn't mean you can talk to my child. I don't know you.
I have a doctor's appointment. Gotta go. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
All right,
fun.
blue man, I guess.
Whatever. I don't even wanna.
And the daughter says, "Daddy, are you blue racist?" And then they walk up the stairs. Cool. Downstairs, you guys are going into the cave. You are joined behind by Millie, whose hands are just raw.
I'm having Felix fly, what, 10 feet in front of us? 10 feet?
He says, "Oh, is what you hear. And then in silence.
Hello?
You walk in, and you get into the place, and your thing casts light up. You get about halfway up the hill, is what you can see. Those of you with dark vision, you can see the entirety of the room. It is a large incline that leads to a single point with 3 boulders just sitting up on it. Like a flat surface, 3 boulders, and then like a conical hill facing down to where you are.
Hello, we brought the bird.
We just want to talk. We know you're here.
Can I make my cape look like wings?
Yep.
I do that.
Whoa.
Not like functional.
Not
but
functional
they're
wings, but like look like they're down.
Yeah. Nothing.
We have a bird.
We literally heard you. We know you're here. Please?
Make a persuasion check?
Sure.
I guess.
Oh no. 13?
Nothing.
Okay, well.
Alright, guys. I guess we better go. Clank. Clank. I'm gonna hide. Clank.
Okay, you can make a stealth check.
Oh yeah, can I also?
Make a stealth check.
I will as well.
I'm purposely trying.
Clank, clank, clank out of the room.
17?
17.
15.
Okay. You hide.
I guess
You clank out of the room.
my bird are gonna go away now.
Nothing. Just like dead silent. Not even the sound of breathing.
I take out my short bow. And I want to fire it.
Careful.
Up on the wall, not at the rocks. Look at the wall above where the 3
Make an
rocks
attack.
are.
Make an attack.
18.
King, and it king, bounces off, and you see one of the rocks shake a little bit.
Ah! What was that? We see you!
Oh.
You!
And you see as the rock sort of like curls upwards, and it looks like a big boulder with just a little. You're not there. It's hard to make out because it is dark. Even though you have dark vision, it's hard to make out. It's a distance away. It's a big boulder with like a face sort of carved into it. But as it comes up, you can see that the face is expressive and moves around. It says, "Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't find me."
If I hear the voice, can I be like,
And you clank, 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 you clank back in. I was hoping you wouldn't find me, so I wouldn't have to do you any harm.
What?
But the master's rules are absolute, I suppose.
No.
I'll give you a chance to leave now.
Okay.
What's your name?
See ya. Oh, we go.
What's your
We're out. Back to the rope. I'm climbing up the rope.
What's your name?
You're climbing up the rope.
See ya.
It's in a
I'm
language
pulling
that...
suddenly.
What?
Gonna give me a little warning.
Oh, I suppose I owe you that courtesy. And he makes a grumbling, rumbling sort of noise. You don't speak Terran, do you?
No, but I can soon.
Okay. I mean, primordial. Do you speak primordial? Because Terran is a dialect of primordial.
I don't speak primordial.
Then you just hear the sound of earth and rocks clashing together.
That's a beautiful name.
Thank you. What's your name?
My
Soon
name's-
to be squat.
My name's Millicent. It's nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you as well.
Who's your master?
Oh, well, I suppose it couldn't hurt. After all, you won't make it out if you're alive.
I'm like standing at the bottom of the rope waiting for these two.
I'm already halfway out.
Oh, you're just fucking monkey
I
climbing?
walked out and I went up
Cool.
to Wallace.
You're doing that. Well, you
His Felix is with you.
he's a spirit of the earth who's from here. He's been sleeping for a long time, ever since the Iluith put the Fae to sleep years and eons ago. I don't know his name, he just summoned me here today to create some caves and create some other elementals just to, rile things up. Seems he's mad. When he went to sleep, there was nothing here, and when he woke up, there was a city where his favorite mountain used to be, so I suppose I could empathize with that. Well, that's all I can tell you. And you see as he grabs one of the boulders and pushes it down the hill in your direction. Not towards the two of you, but it rolls towards the door and hits the door. And as it does
I
so,
go back down the rope.
Oh shit.
and as it does so, you see it
Oh dear.
curl up into an exact copy of the thing that you were just fighting. Or the thing you were just talking to. Everybody roll initiative.
All of us or just them?
Yeah, everybody, because if you want to come down, it's gonna end up
Alright, we run down.
It's bad.
not great. Ooh, a car bumping music. We might not have music in the room, but we sure have their music.
Yeah,
Music
there.
outside.
Woo!
I love
I
the
hope it's not
outdoors.
copyrighted music.
We've only heard 11 seconds of it. It's fine.
All we can hear is thumps and thuds, so I think we're okay.
Anyone can lay copyright to it.
Even better!
This show's gonna get shut down.
Episode 1.
Done.
He
I don't
rolled-
want to fight a nice rock
Just
man.
anytime we mention like a brand,
Cool.
we have to bleep it out.
Okay, oh, we're gonna be able to finish this. Cool, Millie.
13.
13.
No, yeah, 13.
13, cool. Alright,
Deuces.
14.
cool.
5.
Alright.
6.
Good all around. Amazing.
Okay.
Could I do something before the initiative or no? Do I not? There's no way,
No,
right?
yeah, probably not. Cool. So the thing is going to go first, and he is going to grab the other boulder and push it down in your direction. So he's going to make an attack, effectively. That is a 11 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
And you sort of duck out of the way as it slams into the wall. Yeah, and as it does so, curls up into yet another copy of him.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
We're fucked.
Well,
We took the bait.
cool, Tapper. Yeah, I got some AC in here. I'm sweating.
Wallace, are you coming down?
Should I? What's...
Oh please,
Bring the necklace!
and bring the health.
Alright. I guess. Hey, Captain.
Yes.
I think my friends have run into a bit of trouble down there. Do you think you come help?
We're digging through here. We can come flank around and provide support, and I'd say, were I to qualify it in a number of rounds, 3.
Okay. I want to go down there. Feel free to use the rope. Do you have anything useful a weapon or something I could use?
And she, like, tosses you a longsword.
Oh, thank you. I'll use this.
Yeah, you're not proficient. And then she runs into the rubble.
I've got a longsword now.
Cool.
Alright.
Was that?
No, that was just a free action.
All right. Then I'm gonna run over to whatever, as far as I know, is blocking the door.
Yep,
I'm
it
gonna
looks like a boulder.
I'm gonna stumble on over to it. Can I investigate it and figure out if it's just a rock?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
All right. Or if it's something else. 15.
15. Not a rock. It's moving. It's like shifting. It's definitely animated somehow.
All right. Then I'm gonna hit it. Can we call it? Is the investigation a bonus action? Or?
Yeah, we'll call that a bonus action.
Okay.
It wasn't that hard.
Then I'm gonna hit it with. I'm gonna tentatively whack it with the.
Cool, go for it.
See what happens. That's a 17.
17 hits. 17 hits.
All right. I'll make both attacks.
Cool.
24.
24 hits as well.
23.
23. Yeah.
Nope. 24. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. That's all gonna hit. That's good. You've rolled well.
I have to do the math well. One of us has to do math well.
It's not me.
Or else everybody's gonna be in the comments section being like, "Oh, they got the math wrong. They should have died."
Peter, you assume that people will be in the comments section.
You're in the comments section.
Thank God.
Don't check our math. Don't check our math. That's gonna be 18 damage.
18 damage. Wow, that's solid. And similarly to these the earth elementals previously, not as much as you would like it to do.
Does it react visibly?
Yeah, it it crumbles a little bit, and it definitely like shifts
Okay.
to match what you have done, but it affects it. You have done damage. You've just done half damage. It's resistant.
Okay. No, I'm just Tapper's trying to figure out if this is just a rock.
No, it's not just a rock. It's at this point you can be pretty sure it's more than a rock.
All right.
It's a rock lobster. I make that joke a lot. Cool. That will make it Millie's turn. Unless you want to do anything else.
Do you want to do anything else?
No, I've used everything.
Cool.
Because of my roguish archetype, I can mimic the speech patterns and accent of someone I've heard for talk for 1 minute.
Nice.
Cool.
So I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna go, "Congratulations, you passed his test."
Ooh, make a deception check at advantage.
Good thing it's advantage. Ooh, 27.
Oh, this was a test from the master?
Of course.
Oh. And he sort of like closes his fist and the two like copies of him just crumble back down into things. Combat is paused for the moment. Oh, well, I'm glad I've done it right.
Absolutely.
Though you definitely aren't servants of stone as I am, but
No.
if he trusts you, then I'll trust you as well. I have no reason not to.
We're gonna go back and tell him what a good job you've done.
Oh, I will, give me a moment. And he curls up into a ball and just rolls rapidly down into the other boulder, knocking it backwards. Make a dexterity saving throw, Peter.
Oh, no. A dex save?
Dex save to try to dodge out of the way of this giant rock.
That's a good 12.
Yeah, not great.
Hey.
Make a strength save, please.
Okay. 17.
Cool. The stone like bashes into you, but you don't get knocked backwards. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you get pushed backwards a little bit, but you don't fall to the ground. And the boulder just sort of like rolls away, and your face is bleeding. Like that wasn't good. That didn't feel awesome for you. And then you see like a big stone creature go like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is he? Are you?"
Oh, yeah, but he's the least favorite. It's fine.
I'm sure all beings of flesh are equally good. I know all beings of stone are. Some are meaner than others.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure you know if you know the master.
Oh,
Not that
yes.
he's mean. And then he just sort of starts mumbling to himself as he starts climbing his way back up onto his perch.
All right, friends.
And he curls up and he sits down. He says, "Well, tell the master that I've done a good job and have a nice rest of your existence." And then he curls back up.
All right, friends. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
I've
And
just gotten to the bottom of the room.
we're going up. We're going back up.
I'll give you that.
Sorry, we're going back up.
Now.
We gotta go. We gotta go now, quickly.
I don't know. Oh wait, do I still have spider climb?
Let me
No.
check.
I think it's like a minute.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I'm just gonna say, for the sake of time, you all make it up. You have a rope. You can.
It's an hour.
Oh, you do have spider. So you spider climb up, and then you help everybody up in the same way that you had previously. Brandon is sitting up there and says, "So what was it down there?"
Ooh, good question.
Stone things. They were animated. They serve a master.
Serve a master.
in-
What sort of?
Was there a mountain here at one point?
s-
Oh.
A spirit of the earth that they said was put
Spirit
to
of the earth, like an elemental or like a fey creature?
a fae. When
Oh!
the Illith put the fae to sleep. He said
Oh,
it was
yeah, you might be familiar with well, the most famous time this happened is when the Thorn Queen reawakened.
That sounds bad.
In either it was the second or third age. I don't remember off the top of my head, but she was quite the powerful fae, and it seems that the Illith, when they were first here, the natives, well, one of the native groups of this land, really more conquerors than anything. Some legends say they came from the stars and kicked out most of the people here, and then took it over and disappeared one day. But I'm sure you all know about the Illith. They're quite famous. I'm just saying it so the audience might know, because I haven't told them about them yet. It seems they didn't like to deal with the fae, and they put them all to sleep. And when the Thorn Queen awakened, that was before interdimensional traveling was really accessible. That's back when the Extant Sortilegium sort of came into importance, because they created portals. But you know all this, right?
Yeah. Of course.
Oh.
Yeah.
But, it seems the less powerful the Fae, the longer it took them to wake up, and I suppose it makes sense that a Fae could have lived here before. I don't know of a mountain around here previously, but we're near mountains. There could have been.
Sure.
I'm not native to Worthink, I don't know.
I've coiled my rope up.
How long ago was all this?
Back in the second or third age, so hundreds, thousands maybe.
God.
Back when teleportation wasn't really a thing we could do, but now it's a thing we have daily, every day.
Sure.
So
All right.
yeah.
Wasn't sure if maybe I was alive at the time.
No, you weren't. It was long.
Okay.
Past, too. It was a huge event. She basically tried to kill everyone because she was
Okay.
mad because she wasn't in the Feywild anymore, and then they had to find a way to teleport her.
It sounds like there's horrible events every couple of years now.
Yeah.
I think it's time for one more.
The last one was 45 years ago.
Yeah, the last big one was
I was
45
there.
years ago. Yeah. And if you watch the State of the World video that went up before this one, you'll know exactly what happened.
Master Tooth Snatcher.
Oh, just call me Brandon, please.
No,
Master Tooth Snatcher is my father,
Are you sure?
and my older brother, and my other older brother.
Sounds in the British accent.
I mean, you can call me it if you suppose, but I'm not old enough by far to be called Master, nor do I own anything.
Listen, didn't you say that you had some sort of job for us? I don't
yes.
mean to take the topic off what just happened. But
I've got a job, yeah. Now's as good a time as any. I mean, you work here, but you were a lot of help, and I appreciate it, but I can't imagine you'd be
Thank
able to come
you.
with us. Basically, I've come into the rights by way of some gambling of a house not too far from here. About a week's travel north in a small city. I don't know the small town. Don't know the name of it. It's on the ledger, but I'm not going to dig through right now. I need an escort up to that place so I can get my house. And it doesn't only serve as a house; it serves as the new base of my item shop.
I'm sorry, where again did you say that this house was?
It's in a town that the DM hasn't named yet.
That's fine.
Loopyburg.
Nope. It's up in Bloopyburg. 5 kilometers south of I don't know, whatever.
Start making up cities.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
how much?
It is actually, you might know of the city of Hira. It's
Yeah.
and you know of Hira.
Yeah.
You're not your hometown isn't too far from Hira actually. It's about
I
a
went
day.
there once for the spring festival.
The spring festival, it's quite nice, yeah. I hear their Snow's Harbinger festival is quite beautiful.
Lovely.
Because the snow is around the mountains, and
quite beautiful.
regardless, it's about half a day's travel east of Hira, is this tiny town. So
And how much are you willing to pay?
well, at the moment I don't. And as he's saying this, you hear voices from below you.
I don't know.
Saying you hear Captain Sheena saying, "All right, Ned, they're in that room. We need to form up in a phalanx position to guard the door."
We should.
Wait,
we
no,
should,
stop! We got
Kira?
it, it's totally fine.
Did you already took care of it?
No,
Yeah. Just like totally come up here like right now.
And there
Don't
was.
nope, it's all good.
All right.
Shimmy on up that.
Well,
rope.
we're gonna go through the nice passage we created, but thank you. Good job, I suppose.
Thank you.
Hold fast there. I'd like to ask you some questions.
Okay.
And then you hear clinking of armor as the reinforcements you called and did not use exit.
So, everything's fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing left down there. And we're just gonna... I don't want them going down and hurting that nice man who liked boats.
You're gonna lie to your boss?
No, I am
You're
just going to
growing.
be selectively informative.
Character development.
You've changed a little bit, Kira.
No, I have not. I will write it in my personal incident report and not the official one.
You're gonna
Bra-
lie on an official document?
Again, selectively informative.
Okay.
Brandon raises his hand. Oh, you have a personal incident report and a professional. You file 2 incident
Everybody
reports
needs
per.
2 copies.
All right, I won't judge. That's efficient. I could take some tips from you for bookkeeping. See, one of my little sisters, and as he starts going on this talk about like all of his brothers and sisters, you hear like people, the clang of the Lion Knights and Captain Sheena walking out of the rubble. She turns to them and whispers a few things and sort of points in different directions, and they start going off and like informing the barricade that they can like leave. A couple of them pick up a big plank of wood and start bringing it over to the hole as though to just cover it. And she walks up to you and says, "Well, thank you so much. What was it that was down there? Was it a survivor? I don't see..."
It was just another one of those rock
Another?
things. Oh, yeah. So we ran it. So, big crash.
Yes,
You know,
the earthquake.
You saw it.
It's the 4th one in however many days.
And so everything collapsed. We sort of landed down in this little cave area. And some of the rocks moved on their own.
Like animated rocks, elementals, Galeb Dur, like you have to be more specific with me.
Elementals?
Just earth elementals?
Yeah.
Did they talk? Did they have sentience?
No, they were just angry.
That's interesting. This isn't the first case of this. I'm sure you know, and the 2 of you have been here for some time now. I don't know about you 2. Well, you've been here, but you haven't been outside, and I'm not sure where you're from, but...
You don't need to know.
Well, that's concerning as a law official to hear, but... And she sort of, like, preens her, like, fur back a little bit. And you notice this is one of her tics. When she's a little bit frustrated, she starts to claw her fur backwards.
All of our stuff.
There have been lots of earthquakes lately, and we're trying to find the cause of them. It's more than we have. We're not in a tectonically heavy area here. There's no fault lines. Some fantasy science right here.
What?
There's no fault lines beneath this area. It doesn't make sense for there to be as many earthquakes as there are here. Nor any rift to the elemental plane. We're gonna retcon that I said tectonic plates, and we're gonna pretend that I said the fantasy one instead, which is rifts that open to the elemental plane of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
We have an understanding, right? Okay.
Can we dub it in really badly?
Oh, yeah, well, Evan's nodding vigorously in the closet.
Really badly dub it over, please.
Yeah, we can make that happen. Cool. Yes. So there's something going on. So if you have any information that can help our investigation at all.
Okay, so it was another one of those rock guys,
An earth elemental, yes.
but this one could talk.
could talk, could you describe its appearance for me?
It was a rock with a head.
I suppose. Did it?
It was expressive. Its face.
It had a carved-in face.
Yeah.
That is a Galeb door, an ancient neutral earth elemental. They have a great connection to stone, and they allow it to. They can bring stone to life. Though the fact that it would be involved in such a catastrophic event is out of character for a creature such as this. Did it seem to be the mastermind behind the thing? Did you slay it?
No.
In a sense.
It went back to rock. It was sort of like,
Oh.
ooh, here's some people. Why? And then we left, and it just sort of rocked.
Right.
Kira did very well.
She always does. She's one of our best. And some of the other Lion Knights look over and scoff a little bit, and then go back to their business of putting a piece of wood over a hole.
A singular 2x4.
It's a plank. We got some plankage there. Definitely not safe, but it's a temporary solution. Why did he say it was doing this?
The master told him to go there.
And Brandon speaks up and says, my guess, Brandon Toothsnatcher, nice to meet you. Sheena, thank you. My guess.
With yourself.
The DM is talking to himself.
The best thing about talking to myself as a DM is when I do it here, it's normal, and when I do it everywhere else, not so normal. Brandon says, my guess is it is, from what they told me, it's an elemental that's reawakened. The Iluith, and he starts to go into his long spiel again. She says, I am well aware of the history of our continent, thank you. Yes. My guess is that it was one of the weaker elemental fae that was captured by the Iluith, and it has been reawoken and is angry. She says, well, that's not the easiest thing to deal with. Unfortunately, we're still looking into break and entry combined with a murder of a man in the kennel, which happens regularly, but he was of some dispute, and they say there were some, as he was a drow, there was some racial tension involved. So we're looking into that, as well as the burning down of a noodle stand that happened recently.
Someone burned a noodle stand.
Yes, a beloved Nolzor's noodles.
Nolzor, they burnt down Nolzor.
Oh, who would do that?
That's awful.
Yes.
I was just there the other day.
I'm afraid even this has
Pretty
been
delicious.
too much.
You should have tried it.
We have a lot of guards here, but unfortunately most of the residents of the gilded, the fiscal plazas require and pay us and employ us to be their personal guard at all times. We don't have the manpower to search out this elemental. That being said, Kira, you were about to go on leave for a few days. I know you wanted to visit your home, but could I trouble you to lead an investigation here?
I will take my days off next month. Anything for the watch.
I know I can always count on you. Thank you, Kira. And the rest of you, I'm a little wary of some of you. You don't seem of terrible respite. But one of you is fresh out of prison. One of you continues. Yeah, one of you continues to potentially lie about their identity. One of you I've only ever seen drunk. And one of you I heard tell of a bar fight with, and Brandon just sort of puts his hands up. He's like, so I will pay you, but I will send Kira with you if you investigate this. We will talk of a price point. What can I spare? It depends on what I can get out of some of the individuals who are paying us to guard them, but I could, at a baseline, give you 200 gold for this.
50 in advance.
15 gold?
50 in advance.
50. Yes, I can do that. And she pulls out a bag, counts through it. She says, 49. Will that suffice?
That's fine.
And she hands it to you. So split that as you will.
He's bad at math.
10, 10, 10, and I'll take 9.
And the remaining 150 upon completion. I would love proof that you've gotten rid of whatever has done this.
I think the stop of the earthquakes will do that.
Yes, but I mean, it would be nice to know that we will be safe for some time. You forgot to pay your halfling friend. And Brandon's there just sort of like, holds his hand out, like sort of like,
Give him a high five.
all right, that's fair.
I'll give him 5 gold.
Oh, no.
No, please. I like you, Brandon.
No, thank you.
Take it.
I can come along. I'm not much of a fighter, but if you need to get into a place you can't get into, I've got a silver tongue. That's what my pa always said. And he sort of like flicks his necklace, and as he does so, you hear like a "King," and it sort of resonates a little bit.
I like Brandon.
After all, if I want to start a business relationship with you, it might behoove me to come along to see if today wasn't just a fluke.
Sure.
All right, we have a deal then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't really know where to start. And Sheena says, my guess would be to go to the fiscal plazas, into the Gilded Square, and to the manor of Regibald Wool, the Master of Commerce himself. He won't receive you, of course, but he has the archives and the architecture of the city within his home. Or at least he says he does, which is the only reason why his house can be so out of code. But I suppose he's in charge, and that's how it works around here. But that would be my first guess. Other than that, it can be risky. I would say wait till tomorrow. But you could venture into the kennel and try to ask around. They keep their ear to the ground. There are various, I guess for lack of a better word, groups of unscrupulous individuals who tend to make a living on information.
Which ones?
So we've seen.
Yes, none of note. None of the larger guilds have made their way into our town, and I like to pride myself on that fact.
What race is this policewoman?
She's Tabaxi, so she's
Right.
like a lion
I
woman.
will turn to you and in Elvish say, we met someone recently.
I picked that up because I'm actually
Yes.
a half elf, not a human.
Who? Where?
I'll
What?
tell you later.
Well, I suppose I don't love secrets. And Brandon says in Elvish, now this is interesting.
I turn to him in Halfling. I say, "Oh, really?"
How'd you learn Halfling? Who taught you that?
What
and
are
Sheena
they
Sheena
saying?
says, all right, now is not the time.
Je parle français.
You know that. That's Seleucia.
That's solution.
Yeah.
Oh. Je m'appelle.
Poisson.
I'm really.
Huh?
Oh! Eiffel Tower?
Sorry to the entirety of Europe.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, honestly, all of Europe
Sorry,
now. It
sorry
was
again.
the UK, and now it's just all of Europe. We're really hitting all bases here.
And Australia.
Episode 1. Well, I'll leave you to it. I should go finish my job here. I'm putting this in your capable hands, Kira.
I really hope I'm gonna be up to the task.
I'm sure you will be.
Deputized.
Have a nice night. I'm afraid as your lodgings have been destroyed, you might have to find a different place to stay tonight.
I think we have an extra bed in the barracks.
I was gonna offer my place
There's
too.
You live
6 of
here?
us.
You've got a place.
Yes. I
Oh.
do.
Well then, problem solved. Now, if you need
You're
anything,
real
Kira knows how to contact me. Please be safe and get this done as quickly as you can. I'd like things to go back to as close as normal as they ever are here in Werthank.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you. And she turns and walks away. Brandon says, well, I didn't exactly have a place to sleep in there either. I was going to buy a room later, but if I could stay by you guys, that might be helpful.
Oliver, do you actually have room for us all?
Do I have room for them all? On the floor?
It's going to be tight.
It's gonna be time.
I'll sleep in my regular
Of course.
place.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else want that one extra bunk bed in the barracks?
I mean, I've always wanted to sleep in a guard barracks. So, one of my older brothers, Bolfer, I named them all. I tell you, I shit you not. I didn't make the name of the town you're going to, but I did name all of his siblings. 13 brothers, 12 sisters. Yeah. So his 25 siblings. Hey, his parents, they love each other very much. And regularly. So he says, I've never, one of my older brothers, Bo, for one time, he joined a town militia for some time and he got to stay in a guard barracks, and he says it's some of the most comfortable bedding you can find in most towns.
It is. It really is.
No, that was in the Zymor Empire, and at this point, he's sort of like walking off with you.
Oh, so tomorrow morning, 7:30. You guys want to meet?
Wow,
in the
that's really early.
7:30.
It's like,
That was
11?
late.
it's like midnight now.
How about 11?
11 works.
11 is a
11.
great time.
I'm busy at 11. Can we do 11 at 5?
Yeah, 11 to 5 is great for me. Yeah.
I thought I was like, that was late.
Right.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. No,
Yes,
yeah.
sweet.
Just at the Marins.
Well, we've had a crazy day. It might behoove us to sleep in a little bit.
Okay, so
How many times do you say
11:05.
It's my
at the
favorite word.
Mountain, in the Fiscal Commons.
Sure.
Great,
Alright.
sounds doable.
Wow,
can make
we just did a
that work.
fantasy win to me. That was crazy. All right, well, it was a pleasure meeting all of you. Oh, could I trifle you for my remaining fireball?
Oh, I used it up already.
You used to.
Yeah. Alright, anyway.
No, please, I'm going to need that back. It's quite valuable.
No, I used it already.
No, there were 3 and you used 2.
No, I used
Wallace.
3 of them. Before. There's
Wallace.
another one.
Listen, I want to like you, Wallace Smith, but you're making it mighty difficult.
Yeah, that's what my mum said.
Can I just...
Thank you.
Wallace.
And for giving this back so easily, I'll let you keep the thing you stole from me earlier.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyway, let's go.
Right, we're going to the kennel, so. I beeline for the kennel.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh.
Well, good
Let's
thing
do
she
it.
left me with her longsword.
Yeah, you just have a longsword. All right, and as our crew, we'll set you up. So you guys go off to the barracks. You all go through the kennel. You go through the gates, which the people in the kennel call the wealth gap.
As I do, I pull my coat to kind of cover up my nicer clothing.
You notice?
Yeah, can I become disheveled?
Yeah, you can.
Now that the nerds are gone, you guys want to get drunk?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
Okay, so you know of a couple, like, they're not like super taverns. The best tavern you can get to is the headquarters of the Lamplight Manifest, which is a sort of gang within. They're
Anyone involved?
the leader of the gang, everyone knows. She's a famous actress in Worthink. Her name is Irina Dusk, or that is her stage name. Everyone knows her as an actress. Everyone knows her as a leader of a gang, effectively. But since she's so good and holds so much sway over, especially her gang, the Lamplight Manifest, they sort of run like the pleasure district of the kennel. So they have a lot of dirt on the people who, the rich people who hold like clout in this town. They have blackmail on like 90% of them. So she can maintain her career as an actress, which she's quite good at, while also openly leading a gang. And the tavern, the like the bar that she owns, which is like part bar, part brothel, part like stage. People will perform and stuff. They'll do cabarets there often. It's like a fun place. It's very seedy. You do the wrong thing, you will be stabbed. But you've been every now and again. They put on the best shows in the kennel, at least.
And Irene's lovely, if you're all interested.
Yeah, Irina, she's yeah. But it's called the Lamp's Light is the name of this place. So yeah, you head there. You sort of weave through. You follow Oliver as he weaves you through dark alleys and streets. There are no like fake light. There's nobody patrolling with lanterns here. There are no like street posts with a light spell cast on the end of them here. It's dark. You see dogs like as soon as you pass through the wealth gap. That's not what actually they're called, but that's what they're named by the people in the kennel because you know. As soon as you head into there, you see dogs running about. They like sort of run up to you and like start sniffing you, and then they'll run away. Some of them will like sort of whimper at you, try to like paw at your leg a little bit, but they leave pretty soon. You can see cats up on the roofs yowling at each other. People are walking about still. It's late, and when they walk about hurriedly and guardedly, which you see Oliver doing as well. He clearly knows his way around this place, and you make your way through a couple alleyways. You hear loud sounds of dogs, like over probably a couple blocks in a direction. You hear just baying dogs and loud like wailing, and you walk past that. You hear from the other from a little ways over what sounds like a blacksmith's hammer banging even to the night. You can see some smoke coming out of a building that sort of goes up and juts out to the side a little bit with a small chimney. But he leads you through these streets until you reach a building. It's built poorly, as all in the kennel are. It goes up a couple stories, sort of twisty. But he leads you into an alleyway on the side. And you see that in this alleyway, there's a stairway going down to a door with a red dancing light flooding above it. And standing outside is a big, muscular dwarf with a beard who has a scar across one of his eyes, and it's clouded white. He stands there and he says, "You're coming in for the show tonight?"
Sure. And a drink?
Show and a drink. Pay for the drink inside, pay for the show out here.
How much for the show?
From the looks of you, 1 gold apiece.
She's very good.
You talking about Madame Dusk?
Of course I am.
She's the best in the West Pride. Seen her myself many a time. She sends chills down your spine. Even me, hard and grumpy, she'll bring me to tears. 1 gold's well worth it. And the drinks are very reasonably priced, as long as you don't make any enemies. Please don't make any enemies.
I wasn't planning on it. No, toss him the
I
gold.
toss a gold as well.
I hand him a gold.
Thank you kindly. Thank you. And he sort of knocks on the door, and it opens just a little bit. Head on in. Don't make too much noise in case something's going on.
Not that it matters, but I send Felix to fly around outside.
Just fly
Hang
around.
out with the cats or something.
Cool. And as you lay down to rest with your new talkative halfling friend, and as you head into the lamp's light, that is where we will end the first session of Dungeon Party. Woo! Awesome! Great job, you guys. Thank you guys, for playing. That was super fun. We'll jump back into it. We'll play next week. This week's a little bit different just because we're starting everything up. Usually we're going to record 2 episodes at one time. This time we're just recording 1 episode. Don't worry about it. It'll make sense when we upload. But thank you so much for watching. We've been Dungeon Party. Thanks for partying with us in the dungeon. See you next week.